First off, I want to say at first I wasn't feeling Trump at all. I like Bernie Sanders. I helped him with his campaign. But I will say I did like the fact that Trump called out from day one politicians. He said, you guys are all just taking money from lobbyists, from big corporations, and you do whatever they say. He said that from day one. The media is not going to tell you that because they want to play with your emotions. Example, my Meryl Streep video. They're trying to take advantage of good people with great hearts, great minds, and great souls to exploit their emotions. But in reality, Donald Trump did say that from day one. Will the media admit that? Did they admit that? Absolutely not. They don't want people to know that he was very honest from the start, but it's the truth. I wanted to break down Trump's speech from yesterday and explain why I'm going to give him a chance, and I think everybody should give him a chance. First, he talked about big pharmacy. He said it's run by lobbyists, it's corrupt, they're out of control. He's saying the same exact things Bernie Sanders is saying. He's trying to do the same things Bernie Sanders is trying to do. If you like Bernie, there's no reason you shouldn't have been happy about that part of his speech. He's going hard at big pharmacy. On that same note, I want to talk about Cory Booker, who yesterday was being praised for going at Jeff Sessions, acting like a social justice warrior, saying, I'm standing up for women, minorities, religions, all of this stuff. Meanwhile, the next day, he votes against a Bernie Sanders amendment to lower drug prices, to make drug and pharmacy prices more affordable. So Cory Booker, if you love minorities, if you love lower middle class people so much, you love the women, you love LGBT, why are you voting against affordable drug prices? In his defense, Cory Booker said, I don't believe they reach safety standards, where everyone on Twitter said, what are you talking about? They reach FDA standards, they reach all normal standards. But all of a sudden we care about different safety regulations. The people are not buying it. Next, I want to talk about Trump calling out a CNN reporter for saying, you are fake news. And I want to talk about the honest story behind that, because I saw a lot of news articles, I saw the clip of it, and I did think at first, even though I don't like CNN at all, I was like, was that a little bit rude? Maybe that was rude. When you watch it in full context, it wasn't rude at all. There were tens of hundreds of reporters in that room, and he was going through, and the CNN reporter stood up and acted like it was his turn when he never was called on, and that's not how it works. So it's not your press conference. Donald Trump was completely right. CNN is completely out of control, and they're the reason for a lot of stuff overseas, a lot of stuff going on here that nobody knows about, that nobody cares about. CNN is not your friend. Donald Trump knows it, Bernie Sanders knows it. There were anti-pipeline protests, so if you care about the Dakota pipeline, you know how bad CNN is. If you care about Bernie Sanders, you know how bad CNN is. If you care about Donald Trump, you know how bad CNN is. He's not in the wrong. That was funny, that was honest. The CNN reporter, in my opinion, was in the wrong. Donald Trump wasn't being rude. It's misinformation. Watch the full speech. He talked about Putin, and he said, if I'm friends with Putin, that's an asset. I can't guarantee, I might not. I probably won't like Putin, and if I don't, guess what? I will be stronger than Hillary Clinton. That's what he said, and that's a good answer. All of the childish stuff that Donald Trump does, that the media doesn't like, that people don't like, they're doing the same things. The Democrats, Obama, McCain, politicians, they're acting childish when it comes to Russia. That's not how you handle situations. They're just throwing propaganda out there. And Donald Trump's being very honest. He's saying, look, if I'm friends with Putin, that's not a bad thing. Why are you trying to start World War III, Hillary Clinton and NATO, acting like fighting with Russia's a good thing? When has fighting with Russia been a good thing, especially with nuclear weapons that we have currently? He also talked about handing his company over to his sons. He said, I don't want to do it because I could run the company better, but I'm going to hand it over to my sons. I'm not going to take foreign money and foreign donations, which is a game changer. Hillary Clinton used her Secretary of State job to take millions of dollars from other countries, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. Makes no sense, but apparently Hillary Clinton supporters just put a blinder up and didn't care about that. But it is what it is, and he says he's not going to take foreign donations. That's a game changer. Politicians take money from lobbyists, corporations, foreign countries, whatever they can. Him standing up and saying, I'm not going to take any money from foreign countries, and any money that I do get, any profits, are going to go straight to the U.S. Treasury. That's great. Anybody should be able to agree with that. He also talked about jobs and how he's going to get more jobs to the United States, and in his defense, I was skeptical at first, but he's not even president yet, and he's fighting for jobs to stay in the U.S. I see a lot of articles saying, you know what, it wasn't Trump who kept those jobs in, it wasn't him. Who cares who kept the jobs in? The jobs are in the United States. It's an ego and a pride thing to be like, well, Trump had no part in that. Even if he wasn't 100% the reason for it to stay in the United States, he's clearly helping. He's clearly putting the dialogue out there. He's clearly putting the effort. He's making phone calls. He's trying to help. You can't deny that. If you love the American people, if you love yourself, why would you lie about that? Also, with keeping jobs in America, I've seen a lot of articles say, well, he's giving them too many tax breaks. Even Bernie Sanders, my friend, my ally, said, well, that's not a good thing. He was attacking Trump for giving tax breaks to companies to stay in the United States. My answer to that is corporations are hiding trillions of dollars overseas, trillions. To give them a couple million, 10, 20 million, when it's going to save billions and create more jobs, it's not a bad thing. Okay, there's trillions of dollars being hid overseas. Nobody has cared about it until this year. Nobody's talked about it until this year. So if he's giving some tax breaks to help the overall picture, I support that. I don't have a bias. My bias is I don't want to die. I don't want the world to end. I don't want the economy to collapse. I don't want to be at war. That's my bias. That's my honest bias. And my honest opinion is, listen, we have to give this guy a chance. Politicians for years have been taking lobbying money, corporation money, not helping the people. We're trillions of dollars in debt, yet the economy's booming. Yet average household income is going down. Think about that. We're trillions of dollars in debt, the economy's rising, yet people aren't benefiting from that. I feel like I'm in the movie The Big Short, where the housing bubble collapses, except this is real life and on a way bigger scale. Whether you want to admit it or not, politicians have been messing up for a long, long time, and it could burst at any second. You never know. Donald Trump has the potential to save us a lot of money, to cut spending, to cut unnecessary millions of dollars here and there. He can do it. He wants to do it, whether you like him or not. I've seen videos of him since the 80s and 70s being critical, taking out full ads in the newspaper just to critique foreign policies of the United States. He had nothing to benefit from this. He just wanted to get it out there. As a passionate American, he felt something was seriously wrong. And he said on Oprah before, in the 1980s or 1990s, I'll never run for president unless I feel like I have to, unless I feel like America gets so bad that I have to run. That's the point he felt that it was at. And that's the point that many of us feel that it was at. That's why many people stayed home voting. That's why the people weren't listened to this year. Every candidate drawing huge crowds were getting mocked, ignored, hated on by the media, by the general public. If you truly hate bullying and violence and negativity, why would you bully, hate, and add violence? You have to be honest about the situation. Calling Donald Trump orange or Mr. Cheeto, you're not helping the situation. That's just corny bullying. Pick an issue, address it. If you hate the pride and ego in Donald Trump, you have to lower the pride and ego in yourself. Because a lot of people that are like, I think he's a narcissist, are acting very narcissistic when they can fail to be unbiased, watch a full interview, not take clips of it. I show a lot of people, they close their eyes, say, I can't even stand this man. That's not being unbiased. That's being stubborn. That's what that is. And to Donald Trump, whether you meant to or not, whether the media spun it out or not, there are Latinos, there are minorities, there are religious groups that are scared of you. They're fearful of you. And they have every right to be. You have to be honest about the history of not only America, but the world. They have the right to be fearful. Whether you were president, whether Hillary Clinton was president, that's their American right. That's their worldwide right. I understand that you think and may be right about the fact that the media caused a lot of that mayhem, but as a man and as the next president of the United States, it's your right to speak to the people. Speak to the Latinos, speak to the minorities, speak to the women. Give them a reason to trust you. Give them a reason to feel great about your presidency. Let them know what you're going to do for them. Don't make excuses. Don't talk about the media. Speak to the people, because knowing the history of the United States and the world, they have a reason. So all in all, I think you should give Donald Trump a chance. This is the United States of America. He's going to be president. Why would you want this to be destroyed? Most people have no idea of the big picture going on, but the US currency, our dollar, our entire economy is at threat. If you want to see honesty from Donald Trump, you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to give an honest look at what he's doing and what he's saying. Not just an agreeable story that fits into your perspective. You have to give an honest look at it. Much love to the American people, much love to the people of the world. I'm very optimistic, I'm very faithful. I had a great last year. I feel like this is going to be a great year, and give him a chance. Separate the issues, be critical, be vigilant, be aware. But don't be negative, don't be hateful, because then you're turning into the same things that you claim you dislike.